One of the biggest challenges most marketers face is how they go about getting new people into their world. And when I say their world, I'm talking about things like being on your list, reading your blog post, learning about your stuff, watching your videos, all those kinds of things that are what we call top of funnel strategies. Okay. So we need to focus on that top of funnel, the brand new people that come in, and then you narrow it down, and then you narrow it down, and then finally you're selling them something, and then finally they're selling other people your stuff. So what I'd like to do here is I'd like to talk about a content marketing strategy, which is focused just on getting that top of funnel group, that new to you group of people into your world, to help you so that you can get more traffic, so that you can build your email list, so that you can build your brand, so that you can get more sales, and so you can have the life that you want from this venture that you're going about doing online. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share several different kinds of content, tell you how often I would suggest you may want to do that in your content marketing strategy, and then pull it all together with combinations. And then finally at the end, I'm going to talk about, okay, everything I just told you has probably overwhelmed you. And so it's going to tell you how to deal with that overwhelm, and not how to deal with it, but how to pick and choose between these different strategies so that you can get out of them what you want. All right. So this list of things I'm going to give you at the beginning, I guarantee you, if you're especially just a one-person shop, it's going to overwhelm you. I guarantee you. That's fine. Watch it. And then at the end, I'm going to explain ways you can get past that overwhelm. All right, here we go. So first and most important part of this content marketing strategy is you got to have some kind of blog posts or articles going out there, regular articles. Why? Why do you have to have that? Shouldn't you just do everything on Instagram or TikTok or something like that? No, you should not do everything there. You've got to have content regularly going out in printed form. In other words, text form, not printed like off a printer, but in text form. Why? Because then that gets you in the search engines, that gets you where people are finding you. Because remember, we're focusing on the people who are new to your world. People on Instagram, they're following you or shared to from other people. And Instagram's going to be part of this strategy. But the top of the top most important pillar here is to have regular articles and blog posts going out. My recommendation is at least 2 a week or more blog posts are going out. And I am going to share with you in a separate video things you can do, subjects you can write about, so that anybody can take any subject and put out a bunch of content that people will actually want to pay attention to and that will draw people into your world. Okay. So that top pillar, the most important piece is your blog posts and articles. Next is your emails. So yes, this one, I just realized this is not really new people, but here's what it does. It takes those new people who came into your world through your blog post and keeps them in your world. So we'll stay with that concept of the new to your world. Emails keep them into your world. My recommendation is you're sending out emails 2 times a week or more. In a minute, I'm going to show you how to combine that with these other things so it doesn't become a huge burden on you. Next, this is going to be weird. Many of you have never even thought of this. Explainer videos. What is an explainer video? An explainer video is a video that basically explains how something works. It tells people, hey, this is what an email opt-in incentive is. And so they understand it. It's not teaching them how to do it. It's teaching them what it is. This is great for top of funnel, new people to your world, because an explainer video gives people concepts and content that they simply don't understand. One of the things that I find amazing is how often people ask me, what's this? And they're asking questions about really elementary elements like what's an opt-in incentive, what's a landing page, what's a headline, what's a subhead, what's an H2. All those things are, to me, those are things that should be obvious, but you cannot ever forget that new people in your world are oftentimes new people to the world of what it is that you do. And so those people who are new to the world of what you do need to have things defined for them so they understand. So an explainer video explains what those concepts are. I recommend you do 1 to 4 of these per month. Okay, and this can be part of a standard video strategy. Next is how-to videos. This that you're watching right now is a how-to video. It shows you how to do something. My recommendation is that you make how-to videos an absolute foundation of everything that you're doing to get people into the top of your funnel, and then put them out there in all kinds of places, your blog, YouTube, any place, your social media, any place you can put them, because they are great attractors of newbies to your world. My recommendation is 1 to 2 a week, how-to videos or more. And by the way, daily is amazing. That's why I work to do these every single day, because this is a huge strategy for me. You cannot do anything about content and bringing newbies into your world without talking about social media publishing. And I know that as soon as I mention this, there are a lot of people who just go, I can't do that. I cannot do that. And this, but realize there's different ways you can do this. You can do short, real, less than 60-second kind of content. You can do graphics. You can do text and images, text-image combinations. All these things are possible. We'll talk more about this in separate. I recommend you're doing this once a day or more across multiple different channels. Again, we'll talk about overwhelm in just a moment. Okay. Next is educational webinars. Whoa, what's an educational webinar? Well, an educational webinar is a non-sales webinar where all you're doing is teaching people something, okay? And so this is a sign up, show up on Thursday at 4 p.m. and I'm going to teach you this. You don't, by the way, you never tell people whether it's going to be a sales webinar or not. You just invite them to those. I recommend you do those at least once per month. I will tell you, this is probably the least used strategy by information marketers, is these informational webinars. I think they're golden. I think you should be doing them much more frequently. And I think between those and explainer videos, those are the two things that nobody's doing. And if you start doing that, you can develop a huge amount of loyalty in your marketplace. All right, next is infographics. Yes, Don is citing back 10 years to something that used to be done. Well, guess what? They still work. An infographic is something that takes information that normally would be expressed in a video or in text and puts it in a graphic format so it's easy for someone to scan that graphic and do it. Are they still popular? Incredibly valuable. They work like crazy. I recommend you create 1 to 4 a month of infographics. All right. Now, all those things I just talked about, hey, we can combine them. And you take each one of those and you start putting them with other things, they become much more powerful. Like embed videos into your blog post. Share everything that you do in social. take a screenshot of your video and put that into an email with a little play button in the middle of it so people click on it to go watch your video. Put an infographic in a blog post or an email. Take that educational webinar and advertise that webinar on your own site. Remember, you can advertise on your own site to get people into it. You can send out emails about everything that you just did. And by the way, you should be putting opt-in offers in almost everything that you do. So when you start looking at it as a combination, then some of your, I got to do videos and I got to write a blog post and I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do all these things. Well, you know what? Sometimes you don't have to do it all. You just do it once and you can make that happen, because this is part of the question of, did I just overwhelm you? Yes, I did. I can guarantee you, I just overwhelmed you, because I just said, hey, do this daily, do this once a week, do this a couple of times a week. By the time you get done with that, you just went, that's a full-time job. When am I ever going to sell stuff? When am I ever going to create stuff? Well, here's my recommendation since you're overwhelmed. Take that list I just gave you and choose one or two of them and make that your pillar. So for me, it's these videos that I just have decided I'm just going to do one of these things a day. Been doing it now for 3 years. I've got a whole bunch of content as a result of doing that. Number 2, build a system that makes it so that what you're doing, this one or two things that you're doing, happens all the time and can be ported into other things. And so part of that system defines what you will do in the system. So I will create a video. And then what others will do, someone else is going to transcribe that and then hand that off to a writer who is going to turn that video into a blog post. And then turn that blog post into an email, and then turn that blog post into 5 social media graphics, and then turn one of those once a month into an infographic. And then, can you see what I'm talking about? So the key here is back to the thing. What will you do? Minimal amounts. What will other people do for you? And what this does is it makes it so you actually start creating this content in ways that you were never able to do before, because it's just you. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm not just trying to save you time. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make stuff happen that's not happening right now. I'm trying to expand your message out into the world. So right now, you're sending out an email once a week, all right? Add a blog post to that, or add a video to that. Turn it into this system so that other people are doing it, and all of a sudden your message is going out in way more places and way more formats and way more ways than have ever happened before. And so as we expand your message into the world, we expand your audience. And so your audience starts to grow. And so now all of a sudden, way back to the very beginning of this video where I talked about how do we attract more people into your world, this is how you do it. So simply take 1 to 2 of the different options that I just gave you, decide what you're going to do, sit down, turn that into a system, defining what you're going to do and what others are going to do to spread that message to the world. So here's my question for you. What 1 or 2 of the things that I just suggested to you are you going to focus on? Put that in the comments. Let me know. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.